It seems like Eminem will be dropping his new album, the Marshall Mathers LP3, very soon. So there's been a lot of rumors, there's been a lot of rumblings, but at the end of the day, it's not really there fully developed, but the fans need to get excited because we might be actually getting a new Eminem album.
There's been a lot of cryptic posts,
There's been a lot of stuff. So on that note, guys, we're going to keep you updated through this whole Eminem rollout, like we do with everything. So subscribe if you have not already and smash the like button, because if we do end up getting a new Eminem album, it's always an exciting time. You know, a lot of fans on the channel know that you and I are not the biggest fans of, Music to be Murdered by or even Revival, but I'm always down to hear back from Eminem once in a while.
100%. And guys, we'll be taking you through the potential release date for this thing and also all the cryptic posts from people in Eminem's entourage, because there's been a lot going on right now, and it's very similar to the cryptic posts that we had before Music to be Murdered by came out.
So shout out to the Eminem subreddit, because those guys are absolutely
They're
crazy.
on everything, man.
They got everything spot on. We were going through this and we were actually mind blown because XXL ended up covering it, and then Hot New Hip Hop did as well. And it actually seems like the puzzle is finally going to be completed. So let's get this started. Let's go to Fredwreck, okay? So this guy is a frequent collaborator with Eminem, and he actually posted an image on his IG story of a different version of the Marshall Mathers LP house that you could see in the first version that came out in the 2000 decade, and the new one that came out with Marshall Mathers LP2. But now it seems like it's different. Not only that, but if you look at another story that he posted a building with the address 1001, meaning October 1st.
The release date.
Okay, so now people are like, what's actually going on? Because then this guy was right on Music to be Murdered by as well. Like, he actually started the whole conversation
and
going
again,
and started hinting
it was a
at
building. He posted a building before Music to be Murdered by came out, and he had a caption that wrote Motown, and he had like these mic emojis. And then I think like a week later or something, Music to be Murdered by was released. So it's looking like the October 1st date is very possible. Not only that, but if you go to Skylar Gray's Instagram, she actually posted that, it's been tough times lately, but it's all going to be worth it as new music is coming out on, you guessed it, October 1st.
And not only that, but there's also the new Venom movie that is going to be coming out on October 1st in the US.
So is it a soundtrack and not Marshall Mathers LP3?
I don't know, because he has done soundtrack. He has done tracks before.
Well, he did the first soundtrack.
Yeah, for Venom. So who knows? Maybe he's doing part 2 again. And we all know how Eminem does have a relation to the comic book world. So now that we're looking at all of this, there's also even rumors that he has a song with Mosey and Polo G coming out. That was revealed by Mosey's manager, saying Eminem, Polo G, and Mosey, who would have thought, So there's a lot of different collaborators in the works. We even saw Eminem posted, 2 of his label signees with Grip and Westside Boogie on IG. So could they be future collaborators? Like, what's the hinting going on? Because Eminem never really gets this active unless he's dropping something or he's preparing to drop something as a surprise, because Music to be Murdered by was a surprise drop, and so was Kamikaze. So do you think he's going to follow suit with MMLP3?
He might, man. I mean, at this point, he's been dropping at a pretty consistent rate, and he just seems hungry to be releasing music. I wish that he was more calculated with it, to be honest, because I haven't liked Music to be Murdered by or the side B either. But one other hint that we actually got, before I forget to mention it, is that XXL actually posted an article, I think on Twitter, about the possibility of this album coming out, and Royce the 5'9" actually replied to it with, that face with the grin where the guy's kind of guessing or wondering something. So again, another hint, nothing confirmed, but October, the fall time, it makes sense for an Eminem drop. So
it does make sense. How do you feel though? Do you think that, especially after having, a couple of albums that have not been up to par with the rest of his discography, a lot of questionable calls when it comes to the quality of the music, does it still make you hungry for a new Eminem album? And how are you feeling about this being
I don't know.
teased?
I feel like at this point, since Revival, I feel like his discography has kind of plummeted a little bit. So I feel like it's kind of take it or leave it. I feel indifferent. If the music's good, I'll be happy. But already with Marshall Mathers LP2, which to me is a quality album, it didn't feel like a proper sequel. It didn't feel like it served well up to that first classic. So I don't know. But from what we heard from him so far this year, he has been killing it. He had a great feature on Grip's album, and also what he did on EPMD 2 off of King's Disease. To me, I know you're not a big fan of that feature.
I'm not.
But I absolutely loved it.
It's just the thing is that I have a very hard time getting into the new Eminem delivery and the new flow. Like, it's just like it's too much for me. It almost feels like as if it's a bit forced. And as an Eminem fan, I've been a big fan of his music and his discography for a while. I don't feel as if he's on par with what I know he could do, because I'm not saying to create another Slim Shady LP or another Eminem show or another Marshall Mathers LP, but he did release Bad Meets Evil, like Welcome to Hell. Like there is indications that he could drop, quality and actually make great hip hop albums again that don't necessarily even sound corny, because like even at that, like, do I want an Eminem track with bro, how did I forget his name? Mosey and
Polo G?
Polo G. Dude, I swear to God, I was about to call him Piano G. I'm so sorry, bro.
That's
I
crazy.
really didn't want to say
disrespect, guys.
I didn't want to say it, but like, yeah, it almost slipped out of my
Honestly,
mouth.
after hearing, I think it's like Bloody Canvas off Hall of Fame, he can maybe pull that collaboration off. I mean, he did work with Corday and Jack Harlow on the song Killer that came out. The
How
remix.
did you like it?
It was not bad. It wasn't my favorite, to be honest, but I mean, speaking on Eminem right now, I just feel like he's not taking the music too seriously like he did in the past, because when he did with Revival, he got so much criticism and people didn't fuck with it. So I feel like at this point, he's kind of just trolling and having fun,
I know.
being very playful. But in terms of lyrical ability, in terms of the speeds that he could rap at and how he can construct these crazy rhyme schemes, he hasn't lost that skill at all. But what I think has to happen with Eminem going forward, if he wants to keep dropping music, just lock him in a basement or a cellar with The Alchemist. Like, just do that.
I was just
Put
about
him
to say
together with, a crazy underground producer who has a very grimy sound.
Even like someone like Derringer would do so well with him.
100%.
But this is the thing. We were having this conversation that Eminem's discography took a bit of a decline once he stopped making studio albums with Dr. Dre. Like,
Yeah.
And I feel as if that's the case. It's like once, Eminem wanted to steer into a different direction with his production, wanted to start going into different forms for his albums, there was that loss of quality within it. And it's not to say that Eminem has dipped as a rapper, because as you said, when it comes to rhyme schemes, when it comes to rhyme structure, when it comes to, storytelling, he still has it. He's still one of the best lyricists to ever touch a pen. But musically,
it's not
like
it.
It isn't it, because you're there and you're wondering like what could have been if you would have had like an album full of Griselda members. What could have happened if you would have had an album full of like West Side Boogie features and like let's say even like Grip features. There's so many different things that go into it. It's like, do I even want to see him go into like pop rap features at this point? So I mean, I'm at this point where I'll take it. I'm super happy to listen to the album, but if it's just like a copy paste of what he usually does, then.
But by the way,
really
I think that Mozzie song is going to be off of his own album, because
it already dropped.
It already dropped?
It
You
already
sure?
dropped. Yeah, it didn't end up coming.
So I don't know. We'll have to see. But I just hope that there's no more of those weird relationship tracks that have been a big thing on a lot of recent Eminem albums.
I can't get another Stepdad, bro.
No, man.
I can't get another
Then
Stepdad.
there was, what was the other one? I think it was called like In Too Deep or something. Really awful shit, to be honest. And the thing is that I want Eminem's perspective to be bright and musically. I want him to actually have a purpose when he's rapping, because although I do like the fact that he's very loose now, he's kind of just having fun with it, not taking it too seriously. We want quality music. The fans deserve it at this point. So I hope we do get it, but we'll have to see. Hopefully on October 1st, the album does drop. What are you saying, though? Are you putting your money on this coming out?
Oh, that's a very good question. I will. I think that Eminem's, he's just going to continue dropping until he can't drop anymore. He just, he enjoys doing it. And I respect that part of it, regardless of my musical tastes or my opinion on his music or how much I don't like some of his recent projects. I'm happy that he's still being competitive and that he still wants to drop, because there's a lot of artists out there that, feel a bit reluctant to be able to put their bodies of work out there because of criticism and other types of narratives. So it's cool to see him go full-fledged with this. And I have to ask you another question. You and I both know as Eminem fans that the quality in music has dipped, and even Nick's a massive Eminem fan, and he has agreed on this on several different occasions. So do you feel as if the only reason why he keeps doing it is because he knows his fan base is going to kind of turn the blind eye to the quality and still eat it up regardless of the quality of the music that they're getting?
I mean, I guess so, but it's kind of weird. But he has mentioned it on Music to Be Murdered By, I think, Side B, where he's like, you drop one album, you drop one stinker, and your whole fan base turns on you. And like, it's weird because Eminem is very aware. The guy's, very intelligent. He knows that people aren't necessarily responding to this music. So he's either trolling us or he's at a point where he had his fun and now He's going to come back and restore his legacy and give us a masterpiece. And I'm hoping that's what we get on October 1st. If it's Marshall Mathers LP3, if it's another album, I just hope that it's quality Eminem and that it's top tier, because we know that he's capable of that. But guys, of course, as more updates come out, we will be keeping you updated. And if the album does drop on October 1st, we will be doing an album review. So stay tuned for all of that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Thank you for watching the video. It's always a pleasure doing content for you guys. Listen, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, because we're doing album reviews, and we actually have our series called Everything We Know, where we take you guys through the whole album rollout of the hottest releases of the year. Not only that, guys, but our Patreon plan is now live. You guys could access that in the bio. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.